Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about the 9th generation of the iPad and if it's still worth buying, so let's get to the point. Designed for the most casual of users, in an era where Apple and pretty much everyone else has embraced sleek edge-to-edge displays and modern design aesthetics, the iPad 9th generation feels like a blast from the past. With its 10.2-inch display encased in huge bezels and a home button with Touch ID, it's very clear that this design is not winning any innovation awards. However, there is a charm in its familiarity. The aluminum back feels premium and the build quality is just great. While it may not turn heads, the design is functional and comfortable for everyday use. The weight distribution is balanced, making it easy to hold for extended periods, whether you're binge watching TV shows or scribbling notes. The design of this iPad is tired and boring. It's not winning any design awards, but it's also not losing them. It's like wearing a plain white t-shirt. It's functional, inoffensive, and always a safe bet. The 9th generation of the iPad is powered by the A13 Bionic chip, the same processor found in the iPhone 11. This chip is starting to show its age when you compare it to the blistering speeds of the M1 and M2 chips found in newer iPads. However, for everyday tasks like web browsing, streaming, and running standard apps, the A13, believe it or not, still holds up pretty well. Multitasking with split view and slide over is smooth, and most apps run without a hitch. Power users, though, may notice occasional stutters when pushing the device with more demanding tasks, like editing high-resolution photos or videos. It's not a productivity powerhouse, but this iPad is not for power users. It's still for students or casual users, and dare I say, people who just need a streaming and FaceTime machine and a little more. For the casual user, it's more than enough. Now, let's talk about the screen. At 10.2 inches, it's a Retina display with a resolution that on paper sounds respectable. It gets the job done, but it's certainly not the best. Colors are vivid and details are sharp enough to satisfy your streaming binges and YouTube spirals. But it does have some issues. The first thing you'll notice is the screen gap. Yes, there's a slight air gap between the glass and the actual display, and this is called a non-laminated display. It's a reminder that this iPad was never meant to be on the cutting edge. And then there's the glare. Use this outside and you'll be treated to a reflection of your own disappointment. But for indoor use, it's good. Just don't expect to be wowed, because this screen is not gonna bring the fireworks. It's more of a sparklers on the patio situation. Still, for casual users, the display is more than enough. This is where the iPad truly shines: the battery life. Apple claims 10 hours of usage, and they're not kidding. This thing will outlast your average workday, no problem. You can binge watch your favorite TV show and still have enough juice left to ignore a few emails before bed. This makes it a reliable companion for students, professionals, or anyone who needs a device that won't die on them halfway through the day. It's worth mentioning that the battery is big, so it takes a really long time to charge, but hey, I think it's a minor inconvenience. I wanted to take some time to thank my good friends over at Sandmark for sending me this. This is called the Messenger Pro, and when you're on the go with tech like the iPad, carrying it safely and stylishly can be a challenge. The Messenger Pro has got this sleek minimalist vibe, but don't be fooled. It's packed with hidden features and compartments that are perfect for keeping all your mobile gear organized and safe. So whether you're heading to a coffee shop or on a bigger adventure, this is the kind of bag that doesn't just look the part, but genuinely makes life easier. So huge thanks to Sandmark for sending it over, and now back to the iPad. The 9th generation of the iPad comes with an 8 megapixel rear camera and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide front camera. While the rear camera is functional for quick snaps or document scanning, it's not something you'll want to rely on for high quality photography. In 2024, smartphone cameras have far surpassed what this iPad offers. And I don't think anyone even cares about the iPad's rear camera, right? The front camera, on the other hand, benefits from center stage, a feature that keeps you in the frame during video calls. This was a great addition for FaceTime or Zoom meetings, and it works seamlessly. The quality is decent, but again, it's not groundbreaking. The rear camera is an 8 megapixel affair that's perfectly fine if you're snapping pictures of receipts or capturing your cat's latest misadventure. But let me put it like this is like the disposable camera of tablets. It can be fun, it's functional, but it's definitely not something you want to use for your wedding photos. The front camera, however, gets a nod of approval thanks to center stage. But it's okay, since the iPad is not even trying to be a camera. So is the iPad 9th generation still worth buying today? Well, that depends on your needs. To me, this iPad provides so much value for the money. I got this one brand new for $200 and it's crazy to think all you can do with it. Of course, it's not for everybody, but if you need a tablet for everyday tasks like browsing the web, watching videos, reading, and light productivity, the 9th generation of the iPad is still a very solid choice. It's reliable, easy to use, and has access to the vast library of apps in the App Store. However, if you're a power user, a creative professional, or someone who values the latest tech, the iPad 9th generation will definitely be lacking. The design feels dated, the performance is adequate but not impressive, and the display and camera are just okay. This iPad is like that old car in your garage that just keeps running. It's not the fastest or the flashiest, but it gets the job done reliably. So here's my take. The 9th generation of the iPad is a solid device, but it's not future-proof. It's more of a right-now kind of tablet. So if you're in a tight budget and need a tablet for basic tasks, the 9th generation of the iPad is worth considering. But if you can stretch your budget a little bit, it might be time to look at newer models that will serve you better in the long run. And on that note, it's time for me to go. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button. And if you subscribe, that would be amazing. I hope that you guys are all doing great, and I'll see you on the next one. No.